my fellow Americans. It is a privilege to stand before you today with the opportunity to speak about how far we've come and what bright futures we have ahead. But before I get into all of that, Interlochen has asked that I kindly point out the very evident emergency exits to the left and right of this here auditorium, and a reminder that your seat cushion may be used as a flotation device in the event my speech seriously plummets. Now that our safety priorities have been settled, let me continue. Our accomplishments could not have been possible without the help and direction we've received from our parents, teachers, coaches, principals, family, friends, and the other caring people that came to sit through this 2-hour ceremony for our special moment. High school has been a compilation of wild times. From the late nights finishing an essay that was due the day before, to the torn-up vocal cords after a West Central smackdown, or the clandestine missions to leave our mark on the rock. We've learned our share of lessons throughout high school, the biggest being that it was a time to divine ourselves while growing together as a class. To think, we were all unified for the first time in middle school, the days when our LL Bean wheelie backpacks met their well-deserved end and Hollister became the fad. As a class, we've come a long way. Our social hierarchy was once based off who had the coolest clothes or who was the most elite foursquare player during lunch. Together, we trudged through the days of swine flu, and more importantly, the Justin Bieber era. I know. Suddenly, freshman year was upon us. We walked through the mystery doors of our gigantic high school that has some of the teeniest, tiniest windows I've ever seen. We were quickly introduced to the whole new life of slushies at lunch and having the freedom to carry around our backpacks to each class. The naive version of us was thrown into homecoming week, only to find out the seniors had it rigged. Towards the end of the week, we had learned another valuable lesson. Our high school dances would be held in a sweaty sauna that we essentially call the Commons. That week was a game changer. It taught us the importance of deodorant and to look forward to senior year. As measly freshmen, we were also chosen to be the netbook guinea pigs, learning how to exchange paper for PC. By the time we were comfortable with the lay of the land, freshman year had ended as quickly as it began. Sophomore year came around with a particular confidence. We had established our friend groups, knew what to expect, and steered right towards Trish's lunch line. The greatest thing about being a sophomore was not being a freshman. This academic year also meant putting our lives on the line. Sweet 16 rolled around, and many of us received small pieces of plastic that meant we could legally put rubber to the road. When sophomore year was done, Michael Scott had left the office, and we had climbed another rung of the ladder. We had attained the upperclassman status, and it was time to buckle down academically. Our junior year at TCW was defined by the acronym. So now, if you could please raise your hands and keep them up if you participated in these activities or events during junior year. NHS, MAMON, aka Model UN. Come on, keep them up, keep them up. How about TBA? Any of you out there? AP classes, and the granddaddy of them all, the wonderful ACT. No, OMG. Everyone has their hands in the air, so wave them like you just don't care. Because senior year was finally here. At the start of our final year, we all wanted two things: to make the most out of the 180 days we had left, and for it to be June 1st. Time flew by, as expected, and we had managed to cram in a lot of final memories, as well as accomplishments. Athletically, we proved we were the best in town by sweeping Central in almost all sports and boasting impressive playoff runs across the board. Our wild student section, with the help from our bumpin' drumline, were recognized by the MHSAA as one of the top 5 high school fan sections in the entire state. The theater department rocked the box office yet again, with the stellar performance of thoroughly modern Millie. It is astounding we have accomplished anything this year, given the record number of snow days, for which I am truly grateful. The legendary polar vortex was not only chilling, but character building. We had to learn how to swallow knowledge faster than ever before. These are all times we have shared and defining memories we have made together. But now, we are all turning to go our separate ways. But before we do, even though this is not the Oscars, and I am not Ellen DeGeneres, think this moment still calls for a selfie. So please join me and say cheese, everyone. Work it, come on, work it, girls. Let's go. Hey, that's pretty neat. As I look out into the audience, I am surprised to see the staff of JNS is not actually here, as I'm sure the manager will be sad to see his most loyal customers go. When I sat down to write this speech, I faced a whole new obstacle I was previously unaware of, and it was one of advice. Who am I to tell you what the future holds? Who am I to give instruction regarding something I am equally uncertain about? I'm still an 18-year-old kid that has no clue how to mortgage a home or file my taxes. So I'm not going to take this time to talk about what we might achieve in life or what we will have ahead. I'm here to talk about what we can strive for, because one day our lives will flash before our eyes. So we better make sure it's worth watching. While this may not be a comprehensive list, a few questions to ponder. Will we live in the moment, yet pursue our dreams? Will we be creatures of innovation and improvement? Will we help those around us and give back to our communities? Will we develop the wisdom and integrity to make good choices? Will the world be a better place because all of us were in it? The future is upon us, and how we choose to answer these questions will influence the journey that starts right here. Whatever your next step after high school may be, I hope that you will pursue it with the greatest passion. Life is what you make it. So to paraphrase Albert Einstein, strive not to be a success, but to be of value. I've got a soft spot for high school, and I will be the first to say it. Hopefully, we all do deep down, whether or not we want to admit it. When I look back on my 4 years at West, they will be years I will forever cherish. There have been great times and very challenging times. And I would like to take this moment to remember our classmate, Owen Williamson, all that he meant to us, and acknowledge that he will always be a part of the TCWS class of 2014. So if we could all pause for a moment in his memory. The entire high school experience is a part of the foundation of who we are and who we are going to become. We've been extremely blessed to grow up here, establish strong relationships, and live in an amazingly beautiful place such as Traverse City. When we leave here today, I hope that we will all be able to pursue the things that will enrich our lives as well as the world around us. May God bless the class of 2014, and congratulations. Together, we made it. At this time, it is my honor to pass down the gavel and all the traditions tied to it. It is a reassuring feeling knowing that a good friend of mine will be carrying on the legacies we are all leaving behind. Allow me to introduce the Student Senate Governor for the coming year. Ladies and gentlemen, my boy, Paul Soma.